Okay, here we go for day 2. So starting with our warm-ups, once again, 30-second rest for each of these stretch. We're going to start with our squat with the hip twist. So coming down, bringing the elbows inside of the knees, and we're just going to push the elbows into the knees and just twisting slightly. So this is just opening up the hip joints, not putting too much pressure on it, but we just want to try and get some blood into those hips. And we've got our squat and reach. So same position down on the floor. We've got the elbows inside of the knees. We're going to put one hand on the floor and then we're going to reach up as high as we can. So we want to be as much of in a straight line as we can be between the arms. So obviously I'm not quite here, but that's the idea, is to really twist those obliques and get a nice stretch down the sides of your body. And into our shoulder circles. So in one direction, we're just starting nice small circles and getting larger and larger, and then doing a couple of big circles in one direction, and then we're starting again and going the opposite way. And I've just got to remember which way I'm going. So a couple of nice big circles. And if you're clever enough, we are going to do one arm going one direction and one arm going the other direction. I would love to see some videos of you guys doing this, because I know a lot of you struggle with it. Okay, round 1, 4 rounds, 20 seconds rest between each round, starting with our Bulgarians. So we've got our rear foot elevated. Ideally, we want it to be about knee height elevation. So if you're taller, obviously you're going to need a taller platform to put your foot on. So we're dropping down onto the back knee, but we want to drive through the heel of the front foot. So this should all be coming through the front leg, and we shouldn't be feeling anything in the rear leg at all. So we're not pushing off of that rear foot whatsoever. It should be driving through that front heel. Into our sissy squats. So we just need to find a little platform to elevate our heels, sort of 3 or 4 inches. We want to drop all the way down to touch your bum to the heels. We're going to come 3/4 of the way up and then back down again. So we're not locking out the knees at the top. Next is our single leg deadlift. Okay, so the first way of showing this is without a weight. So all we're trying to do is just keep the torso and the rear leg in a nice straight line. And we're going to put a lot of pressure on that front leg hamstring. And as we come up, we want to squeeze the glutes as hard as we can. So this is a bit of a core exercise too for balance. But we're really just trying to put a big stretch on that front hamstring. And as we come up, we're driving the hips forward. So we can see here how I'm using a weight for this one as well. So keeping the weight on in the arm of the same leg that's out in front. So that's just going to help with your balance. So just making sure the dumbbells or the weight stays nice and close to your leg as you're lowering it down. So into our lateral leg raise. So laying on our sides, we're going to lift the leg up and squeeze our glute as hard as we can at the top. And then we're going to slowly lower it down, tap the other foot, and then straight back up again, squeezing the glute as hard as we can, and then lowering it down nice and gently. All right, round 2. We've got 4 rounds of this. Is 20 seconds between each. We've got our diamond push-ups. So our hands are in a diamond position between our thumbs and our index fingers. So your thumbs and your index fingers should be touching. As we come down, we're going to keep the elbows nice and close. If you need to make this one a little bit easier, we can go onto our knees. What we're trying to do is keep our torso flat against the floor and then pushing up. So as we come down, we're not keeping your bum up. Everything from your hips to your shoulders are coming down at the same time. So into our prone wrist lifts. So this one's a bit of a rotator cuff sort of working exercise. So we're just trying to work on the strength of the muscles holding your shoulders into the sockets. So as we can see here, the first part of this exercise is we're going to raise the hands off the ground, keeping the elbows down. We're going to raise the elbows up, keeping the hands down, and then we're lifting everything up. All right, going on to our dips. So fingers facing forward. We want to try and find a similar height that we did for the Bulgarians. So we're going to come down nice and slowly, elbows stay tucked in. We're going to drive up nice and quickly and feel that one in our triceps. Also take note that I'm staying nice and close to the chair, so we're not letting the bum come too far away. So our back extensions, I've got 2 variations here as well. So the first one's with your hands behind your head. We're just going to lift up our head and our elbows all at the same time and really put some emphasis on that lower back. To make this one a bit harder, we can go into pretty much what's a half a Superman. So our legs are staying flat on the ground and just our arms are above us. And we're going to bring all of our arms and head up at the same time. And again, just feeling it in that lower back.